Well, today's a special episode.
How's that?
Well, one of the things about our podcast is that we allow on the members side for those to listen in to whatever it is that we're talking about. So we'll do an erotic audio around maybe it's G-spot stimulation. I mean, we've done just, I don't know, I think it's our 63rd episode now or something like that. I don't want to say the number wrong, but anyways, who's counting at this point? We're over 2 years, and the people have been saying how important it is to actually hear what real sexual interactivity is like. And so for this episode, we actually just filmed it, and we're going to be doing a commentary to sort of help you understand the logic and what's happening and the decisions that we make and the things that we do. Sort of imagine if you were watching sports commentators talking about ice skating or dance.
Kind of Olympic.
Maybe not a sports commentator, not quite that feel, but at least it'll give you a better understanding of what's going on, because these things, they're not performed for a camera.
Who's the
they're
BBC
made
guy?
for how we feel. I don't know.
That does like the
guy who
National
does
Geographic thing.
Oh, I forget his name. David Asprey.
No, David
Yes, anyways.
We don't know. But the famous guy with the famous voice.
Yes.
Commenting on like animal behavior. A little bit something like this.
Sure.
If it's your first time here, absolutely welcome. This is the Embodied Love Lounge podcast. And as Aaron said, we just really love to talk about anything to do with intimacy, sexuality, and relationships. And one of the important parts for this podcast is that we embody the very things that we talk about and promote and support you in investigating. So today's episode is a little different than how we normally do things.
Because normally, like we said, we have sort of like we talk about the what and the why of a certain topic in the first half, and the second half, then we get into the how to do it, personal stories, and then we have the erotic insert. So if you remember, you're going to actually be able to hear the erotic insert later on its own separate piece. But if you are here as a free member, regular explorer, then welcome, and we are going to just be walking through, again, like I said, the logic of what we go through, what's happening.
The erotic intelligence. I don't know if I follow any logic.
There's a body logic.
Yeah, awesome. Well, should we jump in?
Sure, let's go ahead. But, I mean, so why is it, though, that, and it took a little bit of convincing to go ahead and get you to do this episode here?
Yeah, I'm not an exhibitionist. I don't really, like the idea of people listening in and watching and, all that kind of stuff.
Well, and by convincing, too, I mean, it was...
You
kind of wanted to know, like, well, how is it going to be set up? How is it going to work? And eventually, though, when you understood the concept of it, and also that, like, the video is not being shown, because that's not what we're doing here, what was it then that made you go, yeah, this is something I really want to do? In fact, I think the inspiration even kind of became more yours than mine at that point.
I think we coach a lot of bespoke clients where we work very intimately and really support, especially couples, to understand how to move together. And one of the things I noticed time and time again, it doesn't matter how many course videos we have, instructional videos we have, or even coaching that we have, it does require repetition, but I think being able to hear and understand in real time what we mean has an embodied limbic resonance to it that I think is actually very useful for people. That's what at least a lot of the people in the explicit side who share, like, wow, this has really changed the way I have sex because you both give me more permission to express or to try things or go slower or whatever it might be. So I think that's essentially always coming from that same inspiration of, if this can help someone have a better experience, then why not? But sometimes I take a little bit to get there because I want to make sure that my own boundaries are healthily cared for.
Of course.
Yeah.
And also that, like you said, that it is something that is actually didactic, something that teaches, and as opposed to then just being comparative or, again, just some other form of performance.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the piece that I find very interesting and actually that's quite important as well about this is actually a normalization, because most people are like, can't really fathom what coaching would be like, what a play-by-play or breakdown of a sexual experience would be like, or what the erotic side would be like.
I think most people don't want to have a play-by-play. They're like, no, please, don't tell us what's going on. But again, as I said, David Attenborough with the
something like that.
Yeah. So with the nature, when you look at lions having sex, and then the commentator's like, and now the male has mounted the female.
Okay, well, we're not going to be doing it that way. But the point that I was trying to make is that when people actually are in the experience of being coached,
yes,
or when they are then listening to the erotic portion and then hearing us speak about it, they go, oh, this is actually quite normal. And continually, when we have workshops, when people do either like the group live calls or they see the instructional videos,
yes,
they just go, oh, thank you so much for not making this weird, for not making this,
awkward,
something that's like
scary,
super extravagant, that's not accessible. It's all very didactic. It's all very practical, and it's easy to implement. It's not, just like eye gazing and doing some weird kind of visualization mantra. It's everyday life, so it seems just very normal. It seems like what everyone does in the bedroom, but at the same time, it's the attention to the details that create the different results when you start to really see that there's a system that's here. And then, as you said, your own erotic IQ comes online, and then people start to find intimacy where maybe it's been missing for decades. They begin to find a way to not have a routine, but also then not just trying to go to these extreme points to always try and find something new. They're just continually rediscovering themselves and each other.
Well,
let's go ahead and jump in. It's not a 5-second.
How long was it?
The quickie.
Over half an hour?
It was like somewhere around like 40 minutes or so.
All right. Well, so here we go.
There you go.
So in the beginning, we put the mattress on the floor.
Yeah, because the bed's a little bit squeaky this one.
Yeah, and it really like takes me out of my game.
It's actually not that squeaky.
So
you're expecting a lot of action there.
Mattress on the floor, so I'm not distracted. Because one of the things, once we record an episode, I feel we're slightly recording an episode. And what was important for me was forget there's a camera, forget there's microphones, which I loved about this one where we didn't tape any mic to your chest.
So put our chest to chest.
So we could like move a lot more freely, and I really like that. So what I'm seeing is just the start where we're on the floor and...
On the mattress on the floor.
Yeah.
Yes. And you have your silk robe and you're sitting there in front of me just kind of staring into my eyes.
Yeah, of course, because that's the thing you do.
Well, we're both on our knees.
Yeah. But I didn't keep my robe on very long.
Right now you're complaining about how your legs are, well, not complaining, but your legs are sore from the morning workout.
Yeah, it's good to work out those legs. You're going to need them.
So what is it? So right now I'm just sort of stroking and touching you. What is it that does for you?
Well, I also went for a kiss. Because...
You just grabbed me right away there.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get in the mood, because I know there's a camera running, and just drop in with you. That's what's happening for me.
Yeah.
So your touch makes me feel my body. I get out of my head, and smelling you, touching you helps me get out of my head, and yeah, it's a turn on. So.
Well, right here, because you start.
What the heck am I doing?
You start going down on me. What am I doing?
Well, it's just a funny angle.
But then as I start to stimulate you though between your legs and the genitals, it actually was too soon for you.
Yeah. Yeah, because we just kind of jumped in. We hadn't prepped or anything. We just had breakfast and...
But it's not always that way, though. Sometimes you just do want that. But what I love is that you signal to me with your hand, pull away, and then continue kissing, and we just essentially...
And then I said touches first.
Yep.
Yeah. That looks nice. So...
You laid onto your back.
Yeah.
And so right here,
is it annoying for you when I ask for these things?
No, I think it's really important. That's why I thanked you for it. I think it's really great because it doesn't help me. It helps me not to be a mind reader. It also helps me then to read your reactions better. So over time, then it reinforces it, but it's not as necessary. And so there's just more and more refinement of the communication between the two of us. So I'm just kissing you all over your body, sniffing.
Saying you like the smell of my skin, which is really nice.
You were informing me that I was just smelling myself, which I disagreed with. What you were saying because we made love earlier that morning. And
Yeah.
oh.
Uh-oh, what's happening now? One of my favorite warm-ups.
Yeah, seems like you wanted the touches to go a little bit further south now. And I've taken
So
though.
here I'm actually squeezing my breasts and nipples while you are going down on me, and that's something I do a lot to just get like arousal going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you can hear that I'm actually sucking more though than just doing a lick, and I'm turned from the side.
Yeah.
Which
And I think my hips are moving.
Which, again, by not focusing directly on the clitoris, but including like the entire outer labia, everything's starting to just engorge. What is the difference like when you get that kind of stimulation?
Yeah, it's more arousing and there's more sensation than just like a teasing lick. I mean, I like licks too, but...
Well, at one point, though, I do then center more towards you.
Yeah.
And I was using, I think, what you've termed the lesbian tongue or whatever.
Okay.
Like,
The whole flat of the tongue.
where the tongue just goes kind of soft and moves around.
Yeah.
So shout out to lesbians there for adding this one to the playbook.
And then I think there's a finger going on.
Yep.
And I'm squeezing your body.
Well, you're grabbing onto my shoulders with your hands,
Yeah.
and you're actually creating a rock between
rocking.
the two of our bodies, which is just so key to, one, not going into your head, but it's just promoting more blood flow. Mm-hmm. I can remember your taste. I really love your taste and smells.
And then for you, what does it do to do that?
I mean, I'm getting completely erect and turned on, and I also just like, literally just have like a pheromone bath like all over my face there.
What are you doing there?
Well, you're starting to ejaculate a little bit.
I'm breathing pretty funnily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I was trying to regulate myself because it was like
Pretty
almost
intense.
too arousing in that moment because it's so early on in the experience.
Well, and your whole face is red, and you're also using a lot of voice as well. But one thing I just
And I'm
continually
moving my
notice, though,
hips.
is your hips are moving. I've again off to the side, and I have my hands to then help you with that rocking as well.
And what are you doing there?
Well, I've actually taken my fingers inside, not going up, but down, and then being able to then use suction, which you can check out the course.
My legs are kicking like crazy. But I do that. I move my body like that to regulate, again, sensation. So it doesn't become like overwhelming to the point where I shut down. And
you move in the pleasure that you like.
yeah.
Now, this was one
This
that you
is
said
naughty.
you really liked.
Yeah, but it's very naughty.
What's happening? What's not?
I think, well, I think you turned me to my side and kind of started eating me from behind, so to speak. And then you were doing circles over the clit, and I was like, oh, that feels amazing.
Yeah, because I'm stimulating the outer labia like this,
Yeah.
and then you have the inner labia and clitoris between these two fingers here.
Then I'm telling you
How intense it was.
how intense it was.
And now brought me in. But it's so interesting. So I'm just going to pause this right here for a second. Because, so you're saying it's intense. That both means it feels good, but it also means that it can be like almost overstimulating. And so then sometimes there's this gauging of needing to slow down and pause. And we've just seen it time and time again that people will think either you're having slow sex or you're having primal sex or you're having just one kind of thing versus allowing there to be a more natural
I think it's
flow.
true if sex lasts only a few minutes. But because we do it over a period of time, there's a rhythm, energy comes up and then it comes down and then it turns. And so there's a lot of different expressions if you can go a little bit longer.
But then even if you get used to doing that over a longer period of time, then it can happen in a compressed time period. Because literally here you were saying like, oh, it's intense. And so I could feel that you wanted me to slow down.
Yeah.
And so then when I do, the second I do slow down, your energy comes online. And now you have like the giddy up hands and feet.
What are the giddy up hands?
That's where your feet and hands are kind of like going like this on my butt. And I feel sometimes like I'm a horse and you're like, yeah.
Is that what's happening here?
Yeah. And you'll grab the small of my back and really move me. See, and now it went from intense to just, oh yes, oh yeah. You've been spanking my butt there.
I love it. Yeah. Great butt. But I love that also I'm here, I'm really moving my hips.
Yes.
And internally I'm moving.
Yes, completely.
A lot.
I mean, this is so important to be able to actually inhale and push into the thrust
movement.
when that rhythm happens.
Yeah.
And you're saying that that's what actually like really brings so much sensation online, because it actually lowers and brings all of those internal erogenous zones towards the entrance.
Oh, what am I saying there?
What did you say?
I said I really liked it when you ate me from behind. I was horny. And you did the circles, and I circled
So
my
you're
hand
using a little
on your...
erotic talk, and then what happens?
And then you did it again.
You have such a big smile on your face.
My face is bright red. I'm also not like letting the breath out. I'm just holding it.
Oh, now you are. now you're screaming with pleasure.
And my legs are kicking. Again, because when pleasure starts to get really intense, I can either take some really deep breaths, or at times I just like holding my breath and then
sometimes
moving
you
my
just,
like,
like, flop a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. There, I don't know what to do with that leg, so I'm just gonna, what do I do with that leg?
Well, because you're on your side again, I'm from behind.
Yeah.
And what is it like when I put my hand, for instance, on your belly with the other one there?
I think it just always makes me feel connected when there's other parts of you touching my body and not just focus solely on the genitals.
So it's not just to have you not fall off the mattress.
Yeah, exactly.
I also feel that we're more connected when we have a rhythm.
Jeez, I'm really screaming there. What are you doing there?
I am working into your perineal sponge and really like licking all over your inner labia, clitoris, but using a suction though.
Jeez, now what are you doing? So he's really moving with his flexible hips, and I'm grabbing on with everything I got. I got my arms wrapped around, my legs wrapped around.
It's almost as if I was beholding you and you had your legs wrapped around here, but since you're on your back, but you're really like grabbing on.
Did I push you out or something?
Well, at one point, what you did is you sort of moved me back,
yeah.
And I was like, you want just the tip there.
It's weird because I'm just following sensation. And then there's moments where when I'm just following the sensation, then organically I like push you away because I want that particular sensation of what it feels like in that particular place, in that particular moment. And then all of a sudden I want a different sensation. So then I do.
Well, but that's then being an active receiver, and I'm being an active adaptive giver. And then what did I do though? Because since you said that
you were teasing me, you weren't giving me all of it.
Because then you wanted what?
I wanted all of it, but you wouldn't give it to me.
And what does that do to you?
Definitely brings out naughty and desire. And,
makes you want it more?
Yep. I already wanted a lot. Now you're kind of rocking my whole body. And what's happening in that?
I am having an orgasm.
Yeah. But what are you feeling? Is there like the hyperbaric chamber going on?
Well, there's two things. Actually, I was thinking in my head, I remember this moment. I'm like, so this is judo master in a hyperbaric chamber. Okay. And by judo master, it means like your pussy is so active that it's actually tossing me around and moving me in and out, even if I wasn't then adding my own movement on top of it.
Yeah.
And then the hyperbaric chamber is because it's not a squeezing of tension, but there's just so much engorgement and there's so much suction between us that it just feels like, if anyone's ever been in a hyperbaric chamber, or if you've gone deeper underwater, you can feel that just overall
Jeez, what
pressure.
did I just ask for?
What did you ask for?
Your sexy cock.
There you go.
Am I getting it?
Oh yeah.
And I think when you're moving like that right now, where my legs are fully pulled, like I'm holding my own legs up, and my knees are almost touching my shoulders, and then you're doing the...
That's the thing. So I'm not going in and out here. I'm staying at the same depth that I noticed you liked. And then as I'm moving my hips up
Swishing,
and down,
yeah.
it's creating this, I think someone called it the seesaw before.
Okay.
I think that's
With
a
the
nice
swishing,
term. Yes,
the
I'm
seesaw,
swishing. And that then
And
creates
then
a lot of
there's a
cervical
lot of energy, and so
stimulation.
here we're
Stimulates
pausing.
both of the walls.
Even though I didn't
Okay, well.
ask for a pause, but I signaled with my body. I didn't
Yeah.
say pause, but...
Well, what I noticed happens is that there's these moments where you then have like an orgasm that's quite powerful, and you want to either integrate the sensation,
Absolutely.
you want to feel the emotional connection, you wanted eye contact. It can be vulnerable when you really start to go to these levels of depth
Especially
and intimacy.
if, because we had a little bit of a challenging day yesterday, and so I was very sensitive today and just very feeling like tender in my heart and wanting connection. I definitely wanted to connect, but I was also feeling tender. And so I think every time I was coming, I was making contact with that tenderness.
Yeah, because it's opening you up to really feel yourself.
What's
again.
happening now?
Well, now we're
I'm trying to see what's going on. I think it's
it's a 69.
It's a 69, but it's very like tight.
It's more like it's like the yin yang.
Yin yang, yeah, I think it's a yin yang.
We're balled up there.
Yeah.
But now this was a position that you said that you never used to like before.
No. Before you, I always felt like there was just too much information coming in, and I don't know why. It just, with you, then I was able to somehow enjoy the sensation of giving and still be able to track receiving, which I used to find very annoying to try and flip-flop with.
I'm just going to pause it quickly. Just quick tip. Anyone that has experienced this difficulty with 69, it's so important to give yourself the freedom just to have moments where you stop giving to the other person and just enjoy receiving from them.
Oh, I definitely do that.
Or that there's times that you just enjoy the giving the oral sex, and then you just focus on yourself, on that giving. And then there's times that you focus on the other person's love of giving to you, or the love of having themselves be sucked. And when you kind of understand those four components and you have a freedom to sort of flow between them, then you'll be able to eventually start to kind of integrate the sensation of all four together. And then you don't have to stay that way either, because then you can again flow to one thing or the other. And I think that takes a lot of the pressure off of who's doing what to whom and who is it actually for. Yeah. Which is where the wheel of consent breaks down.
I think you're enjoying making me make funny sounds.
Yeah, I think I'm also making funny sounds there.
So.
I mean, I'm coming again.
Yeah. I think I really enjoy.
I'm actually like twitching, basically.
Yeah. And then we're moving into a different position.
Uh-oh.
This one I didn't like being thrown so strongly, so I kind of like braced and then moved slowly, because I wasn't in that primal sexy mode at that point. I was like, I wanted to just be like lovingly turned over. So then you started kissing me and like pressing your body into me, because you realized like I wanted some more grounding.
And you don't say anything.
No.
But it's just a matter of feeling in each other's bodies and getting attuned to each other.
Yeah.
And it actually can be very accurate.
Look at how your feet are holding my legs open.
Do you like that?
Yeah, it's very...
So you're on your belly right now.
Yeah.
And I have my legs in between your legs, and they're going like that to spread them open there. Yeah. And even though you're on your belly and I'm on top of you,
I'm arching out.
There's enough space between us even though my chest is right against you very closely and I'm kissing the back of your neck, which gives you that loving feeling.
Yes.
You then are also then
Arching
the butt up
moving.
and also doing
and the
inhale push.
vaginal pushing in and out, grasping, judo.
I'm actually just shaking now, and your pussy's just stimulating me.
I remember that feeling. It was amazing. And that's a feeling I've only ever had with cock. Like, no, I can't do that with a finger or a toy or anything.
Well, you're saying too that sometimes you actually like it when my cock isn't fully hard.
Yeah, when it's just slightly less than hard, because then I can kind of do more with it.
Can move it around like the elephant's
it feels like I can bend it a little and, just do stuff with it. So now I've raised my legs and I'm naughty because I'm pulsing my calves against your butt.
Yeah, you're trying to make me.
I'm like, come on,
giddy up
let's
more.
go. And you...
And I'm calling you naughty because I can tell sometimes your pussy and you, like, you get this little look on your face and it just like wants to suck the cum out of me. And I'm just...
And then I think I was actually doing circles. You can't really see it in the video, but I remember moving in small circles.
When you're not doing it for the camera, but you're doing it for sensation, it's these micro movements that really start to create macro sensation. And then getting all this to coordinate.
Then I think you were like looking at the genitals there.
Yeah, I was looking between your cheeks.
Getting yourself all riled up.
I think at this point
I'm really moving.
You're just going crazy. And I'm telling you like how much my balls are full of cum. And
you're asking me like, if I can feel that.
Yeah.
And I can because like the balls are like slapping my clitoris as you move. It's like, it's nice. It's actually something I think they're well designed. That was a good design. Whoever designed that.
So penetration isn't just for men.
Definitely not.
You get so angry whenever you hear that being said.
So we've slowed down a little, and you're talking to me.
I'm telling you about how your body's right now going into just its primal moves of wanting to suck the cum out of me.
It's almost working. So... For me, I was really following my pleasure. I was like, this is fun. I'm having a great time. Because you have asked me, don't control yourself in order to like help me through an experience. Like just move. That's part of my training. But with past partners, when I would feel like they were close, I would not have done those things.
They're called forbidden moves, aren't they?
Yeah. And what's happening now?
Well, I stood up.
I was on my belly, now I'm sitting up.
I stood up and I told you to get on your knees.
And you wanted the perineum.
Well, yeah, because I could just feel like there's so much like tension in my cock, and I wanted you to be able to massage
partway through lovemaking, you can pause and give each other some like touch that actually releases tension if there's too much tension.
Well, someone had written in, they go, well, what do you do for Aaron?
Yeah. Is that what I do for you?
Well,
I think you're enjoying kind of how I was making your cock move when I was rubbing. I had my knuckles pressed into your perineum and I was rubbing back and forth.
Well, at first here, you were actually using this kind of ring grip, I call it,
to pull
around
the testicles down
and getting them to lower.
The left one kept disappearing. So I had to keep pulling it down.
And then you're also just massaging the scrotal skin.
Yeah.
And you were massaging the perineum kind of more towards the testicles. I'd even say it wasn't even the perineum, it was more just just beneath the testicles on that lower third of the cock. But then you really like go almost like right towards, I guess, the $1 million point, or what's that called in the Chinese medicine, or Taoist point between the anus and the perineum?
I don't know, but there is another point called Huiyin. I just don't know what the $1 million point is called.
Okay.
It's a different point than Huiyin.
Okay, which one is the Huiyin point?
It's the perineum straight in the middle.
Okay, well, I thought that you were on the Huiyin and then a little bit
further back
behind that, and you're really like moving it quite a lot, and then I was breathing into it, and that released.
I'm also using my
tremendous amount of tension. Yeah.
So we forgot to mention that part.
Which gives this stretch.
I kind of do a strong suction to lengthen the cock.
Yeah.
And then I work. But now what's happening? Every time I look, they're doing something else.
Well, I mean, you helped relieve the tension there, and then you just sort of decided to
I'm rocking my hips
get
again.
yourself back on that,
Looks like you're doing more sucking.
back onto the pillow on your back.
I think I'm pinching my own nipples again.
What was it your one past lover said? I love the sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going down on you again. And I think here you actually
And then I like when
first
you
start to
grab my
ejaculate.
thighs like that and you kind of dominate me slightly and you press them up. And
What
it
is it
like
that you like
exposes
about
my vulva more. I don't know, I just feel dominated. It's like it's nice. It's like, I got you, I'm just gonna drive you crazy right now. And you can't get away from me. But then I like seem to need some emotional contact. So I touched your face and like looked into your eyes. And now you're like teasing my clit with your
Well, actually, it's your
vulva.
vestibular bulbs, like down around your outer labia and beneath the clit.
I
I'm
think something's
going back
on my
and forth
clit,
and doing
though.
a painting. Well, then at one point, yes, I take my other thumb and I mean, this is a dynamic interaction here.
I hope this is interesting for everyone else. But what's clear is that we're not locked into, we're doing this routine, this needs to happen now. There's a very organic flow between the bodies
Yes.
and some natural like high moments, some natural quiet moments, and then natural shifting a position without like making it a, okay, now we need to shift positions.
Yes.
It's just either you or I feel like there's a need and we flow with that need.
Well, it really is a following of the pleasure. I mean, at that point, I then,
So you were asking to lay, like be inside me and lay on top of me
well, because
to
I
calibrate
was just
your nervous system.
inside the entrance and you were coming so powerfully and I could just feel so much energy moving through me that I wanted to then enter deeper, but it was just high voltage and I'm just like, I'm going to explode everywhere.
It was high voltage because I think when the heart has gone through something and it's tender and it's opening, there is, like we learned from Dr. Lauren Davis recently that there's this, what's it called? That the uterus is suspended in so many different directions and
Yes.
it's an actual living vortex. And so I think when we're making love and we're moving and the uterus is like dancing, and then the heart's also a vortex, it's like all twisty. So
Yes.
this is physiology. We learned this from our doctor friend. But I can really feel when I've had an emotional thing and then we start to move, there's almost like a coming back into resonance or coherence or whatever you want to call it. And it's really lovely, but it also needs like some pacing, but it's not from a mental place. It's like,
Yes.
are we listening to what's there? So now what's happening?
Well, so then I stayed inside you deep.
Yeah, and then you went
And then
to
we
the
were
bathroom.
just staying there, moving and breathing. And I was like, I think I actually need to go pee.
Yeah.
And I had so much sensation going through me. And I was like, okay, so then walk out, come back in, and then
Munch again.
I'm deciding to, yes, go down on you. I don't know,
Geez,
sometimes
today's
the
munch day.
appetite, I'm just, there's some days it's more
Hey,
of that and some days less.
I like what you're doing with your finger there. You said you found some tension, I think. So now we're moving into, you had tension, now you found some in me, so now you're having me breathe.
Because I was holding my fingers inside you, and as I was feeling, I was like, I'm feeling that it's not as quite responsive here in the deeper back
Well,
area.
it was interesting because when you brought my attention to it, then I was like, I don't actually feel his finger right now.
Yeah.
But very quickly when we were breathing and you were touching, then sensation started to come back online.
And I think that's so important because a lot of times we think, oh, no, this is...
But what does it feel like when you notice I don't have sensation? That's kind of an interesting, like most people wouldn't know what that is.
I mean, I think it's because your pussy's like moving and doing so much and always latching on. And then there is a certain almost electrical feel to it. And so then when it's just more
Flaccid?
kind of like this versus... then I will like hold and press into it. And then
Geez, what are you doing now?
normally you would then sort of like moan or move or
Yeah,
would
but I
create
didn't-
a
I
reaction.
didn't do
and there was nothing there. And then
Okay,
even
so
later,
that's
there's
good
like some...
information. But I think some people are not very expressive, so it might be hard.
Well, there's both. I mean, that's the point though of like having an active receiver is that the more that you both are active and adaptive to one another, then when one of you isn't being so, you're like, okay, you check in and what's going on, and and then you ask questions. It's not about being like, it's not about being psychic.
But I do think people, like, that's the point where they get annoyed with each other, or they stop, or they're like, oh, her face isn't in an orgasmic bliss face. Why not? And she doesn't like me, or like, it can go into a lot of stories.
Well, but that's because there's a lack of knowing what to do in that situation, which creates the frustration. I mean, that's what I think, like, we haven't been taught these things, so it's natural that people would be ignorant to that. And
if all you've seen is movies or porn, then you look for a certain look, but it's not always that look in real sex.
And the only option you have is to, like, go harder, bigger, or faster, or a more powerful vibrator.
Because if I look at my face, I'm like, ooh,
pill or psychedelic.
It's not always super attractive, but it's definitely having fun.
But there's times,
and my sounds aren't very attractive, but they're definitely sounds of, like, pleasure.
That's when I think that's when I know the sounds are real, is because it's more of an animal type of sound.
The female lioness. No.
Thank you for not biting my balls. I've seen plenty of those little memes.
Yeah.
But this is one of the things that people first commented in our very first episode where you and I also had sex. I mean, it's been a while.
It was like a full hour.
Precisely.
But we did, that one is only in the explicit side.
Yes.
And it's not play-by-play like we're doing now. We just recorded it. It's a full hour
I was
audio.
talking about what I did some, but it was still very much.
But I was not.
You were no.
No.
You couldn't talk really.
No.
You're just making sounds.
But
it was the fact. My point was that those animalistic sounds that sounded so natural gave the other women permission, and they could find themselves in, like, oh, that isn't performance, because they're normally trying to then sound with these high-pitched voices that are made for the camera.
And it's weird. It's like
they're not a natural expression of the body that doesn't just create sound; it also creates sensation.
But I remember recently, like, because I had so much energy in my clit, and you were touching, and it's like a high, really high, and you're like, it's so intriguing that when there's a lot of energy in the clit, your sounds go higher.
Yes.
And then when it's more, like, deeper into the vulva, they go lower. Yeah. so it's just, you can kind of read.
And those high-pitched sounds vibrate in the head.
Yeah.
And with all the clitoral stimulation, typically you'll have a lot of women complaining about being in their head, versus when they're getting these deeper stimulations, they're not in their head.
Okay, so what's happening now?
Well, I have been
Is that your
going
hand?
down on you.
Yeah, you're using your hand there.
Well, I had been going down on you, and then I found the tension.
Yeah.
You breathed through it.
Yeah.
And then you started to really move again. Then I started to go more into, like, just pleasuring and stimulating you.
Okay.
And I was laughing because I said, this is kind of backwards, because I had my
finger inside
you
and the penis stimulating
the clitoris as opposed to the other way. This is something I also really love, is that we'll say things and we'll just start laughing during sex. There's a conversation between our bodies, but then we're also sometimes having conversations.
I like it. Here you said you swore. Good. Mm-hmm. And I like to hear that. I want to know that your experience, like, you're really enjoying it. You're sensorially just delighting in the experience. And so when you give me that verbal feedback, it really makes me, like, joyous and happy and open.
Well, we really then slowed down to this deep central space, because I could see your eyes were very glassed over, and there was some emotion going on, and I just checked in. I'm like, what is it you're feeling? I had this feeling that there was something heavy that you were moving through.
Well, now you're definitely moving through.
Slow grinding, like, into the
I
depths
love
of
the
you.
grind. I think the grind's my favorite right now.
Yeah, but then you're starting to do your little giddy up feet and hands.
Yeah.
But still
and
having
I'm
me
moving my
stay in
hips
nice and deep.
Yeah. And your arms are kind of underneath my shoulders.
Yes.
And then what's happening?
Now
I wanted to look at your eyes, so I kind of, like, grabbed your face.
Well, there's a lot of emotion that's happening here. And it...
And then I had a weird like hiccup.
That one I didn't know it. I was like, what was that?
I didn't know either.
Well, because at that moment, I had a lot of sensation shoot up through my body, and then you hiccuped, and I was like, did you have that? Or, okay, no, you just hiccuped, okay.
And then I just now pulled my knees in quite high, and so my feet are actually on the inside of your hips versus the back. Yeah, and then you made a kinky thing, like you're feeding a horniness aspect, and I was like, actually,
It said feed your pussy.
Yeah, and I was like, actually, you're feeding my heart, because that's. I felt this whole session was all about like opening up my heart.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I doing there?
So I'm in these deep pulses, and then your hands go to my thighs, and you move me out, which could easily be like, stop. But no, you're actually just adjusting me to the depth
that I want.
And the crazy thing was, as I went out to the tip, there was this tremendous amount of suction because your cervix and deeper pussy had latched on to the head.
Oh, you got shot out, it looks like.
And then I go to the entrance here, and then like you start going crazy. I start feeling a lot of sensation, and then you're wanting me to like do the slide.
And
Next thing I know, you're just
out.
like, your pelvic force shoots me out, and you ejaculate.
And I think today,
so
like you were very
sensation.
Specific. We're going to do many layers of towels.
Yes.
So that you can relax. And it works, because I don't relax if I don't have
especially if
protection.
you have a lot of pent-up emotion. I noticed that releasing ejaculate can be a tremendous way to release a lot of any kind of like stress, be it anxiety, be it anger, sadness.
What are you doing now?
Well, right
like
now you are
your...
slapping my butt. It's like ringing in my ears right now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, it's a nice ass, and it's like feels so good.
Oh, and you're also wanting the giddy up going. Oh.
And now I'm like doing almost a bucking movement.
Well, you could hear like you ejaculated, and then also.
Now you're back down there with your mouth.
I'm eating you out again, yeah.
And then it looks like we're both dead for a second, but it's just because like, there's a lot of going on.
Your face is matching the pillow cover, which is rather purple, and so is mine. And you're writhing.
And I'm definitely rocking my hips.
And
at this point, the energy is so intense, I lose track of my body, where I am. Like it's just almost like a big tsunami. Yeah, and I'm definitely screaming. And you're trying to re-enter at that moment, which seems like it's like a lot of energy.
And then here the energy is sort of
slowed
down again after that big peak. And then I've brought my face close to you and kiss you, and my hand next to your face. And we're just sort of staring. Did the video pause?
I think at that point...
We just paused.
At that point, I was in a different universe. I'm floating through outer space. And I could still feel my body, but I was like, became very mist-like. Yeah, it's very misty. It's like there's
dissolved a bit.
dissolved. There's very few edges. And yeah, just it's a really intense space to be in, but you know that space well, so you're not nervous, which helps me relax into it.
But then all these emotions came up, and you said that there was like a sadness that was starting to leave. And then as soon as there was a pause for that was just a second ago. Then next thing you know, then you just grabbed me, and you're like...
And I'm like moving a lot.
Yeah.
And so you're back there with your mouth and fingers again.
Well, first I had my cock in. And
then I wanted to like kiss you while you did that, because I knew my heart wanted connection. And
I could just feel that there's a deep release that your pussy wanted, and sometimes fingers release in a different way. Not better, just differently. And I could just feel that was the correct tool for the moment. And
that's very intense. So am I releasing there, or just a lot of energy?
No, you start to like gush You would not have felt comfortable doing that if there was not the several layers.
Oh, no. Yeah, definitely not. Now
towels.
you're going back in.
Yeah.
And it's very quiet, and we're both kind of like writhing in the orgasmic bliss.
Well, I'm taking the head of my cock and I'm connecting to your cervix and then staying there with you. And you were saying that I feel very big.
You felt, yeah, your penis felt huge after the fingers.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's two things that happen there. One, my heart's opening, and you always notice as that opens, like just the cock has a bigger energy to it.
Bigger cock when the heart's open. Just saying.
And then also, you get so engorged and swollen that anything that tries to go in just creates this. And that's a really big myth to break there, because people would think, oh, well, as you get more stimulated, you have a cock in, like, then you're going to get stretched out and be loose.
But here, you're doing something important, which is like, you're honoring the fact that I'm having different emotions, but you're not stopping, you're not going into therapy or trying to figure out anything. You're just like, okay, just let them out. I'm here, I'm with you. And you really connected your heart to my heart. And then I think we just started moving energy again. Mm-hmm. But I didn't feel like overwhelmed or anything. Just, again, it's the feeling when you open, you can feel all the sensations. And so I had a mix of like sadness releasing, happiness coming through, like all those types of things. I think I was wiping some tears out of my eyes right there.
Yeah. And also I was commenting on just how slick the cock was. Because a lot of times with ejaculate, it can just be very...
washed away.
Yeah, but that was not the case. It felt as if lube was placed on it.
I did feel like lube because you had me touch it, and I was like, whoa. Now it's nice and slow. I love that.
Eye gazing.
Yeah. And breathing.
But the hips aren't stopping though.
No, you're definitely not stopping. Now you're kissing me a lot.
Goodness, I just want to pause this episode and go make another erotic
we gotta
insert.
Get through this. We're almost there. We want to know who wins the UFC belt. No, just kidding.
The Ultimate Championship?
Yeah. Hands on your butt.
Yep, and you're, again, calling for the pulse.
Thank you. I think you like it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, your pussy is completely engorged, sucking on to me. Like, the sensation and pleasure is just going through the roof. Most people try and regulate themselves like between this 0 and 10 range.
Yeah.
But eventually there's no limit. You just go beyond the 10, and that's when you start going into all other kinds of sensations in the body.
Now you're back with your hand. I think you're trying to turn me. Doing this thing with your leg.
Well, there was both still, I felt more to release, but I also wanted to have our chests together. Mm-hmm. And so I brought you onto the side so that way your hips could more freely move, and you could embrace me and I could embrace you, and we can kiss while having our legs wrapped together in a way.
The legs are really nice. They look like serpents intertwined.
Mm-hmm. And then I was really starting to like just do these slow, smooth strokes, and you seem to like it because
I was moving my hips.
Your butt started becoming a little buck and bronco, and so I just started to follow that flow or rhythm, find a rhythm between your hips and my fingers. And I'm using my leg to actually help support your top leg.
Yeah.
So it's not just having to hang there, and you can relax.
Then you're telling me to breathe. Yep, definitely like it.
You're moaning into my mouth as I kiss you.
Well, it's nice. There's lots of kissing and care. Your hand is on my upper back, pulling me in.
Yeah, I have it wrapped underneath your head and holding you like this.
That's nice.
Like this. I'm kind of gone. Like this.
I'm not going to demo that. You have to imagine what's going on. And there I'm kind of almost waving my hips.
Yeah. Show what you mean, like how.
Waving like sideways, like this. Now you're really moving your hands.
I can feel your body's really relaxed into the touch.
Now what's going on?
I'm so turned on, I just want to be back inside you again.
Jeez.
With my cock.
Yep. And then I seem to need a breather.
Yep.
So I'm taking some nice, slow, deep breaths.
And so I just pause.
Mm-hmm. Like I just told you I loved you. Cheers.
Well, you say hi first. Just
Hi.
like, I'm kind of like...
I was high.
And so what did I do?
You sat us up.
Yeah. And then you're on top of me.
Yeah.
Which sometimes I'll do that to give you more, what would I call it? Not initiative, but autonomy to like really be the one to claim it.
I think you're bouncing there though.
A whole other side.
I mean, I'm
comes out.
rocking my hips, but you're bouncing.
Yeah. I'm using the spring
Of
the
bed,
mattress.
yeah. Oh, we fell over? Or you pushed me
No,
over?
I flipped you back onto your back.
Yeah.
And I'm coming again.
And you're shaking coming.
My whole body is trembling now.
That was
inside
fun,
you.
actually. I remember enjoying that. Oh, my own living vibrator. Then we're just coming back up again, sitting.
So I guess some people call it the kind of yap yum. You have your legs wrapped around me here.
Yeah. But I'm also, don't really stop.
Well, it's funny though, because when you're on your back, you're just sort of in this like very like altered space and like actually feeling like kind of like some sadness and emotions.
Hey, you just spanked me.
And then here, when you jump on top, all of a sudden you just get all giggly. And so, I mean, like changing positions too can really affect the mood and the sensation.
Jeez, they're galloping now.
You're just galloping on me.
I think I enjoy your sounds when I move.
And I'm coming again. And look at you. You're just like, that look in your eyes, you're just like, yeah, take it.
You can take it. Now we're bouncing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Bounce
laughing.
with the rock.
And I think there's a moment in this process, because it's so intense, where I almost feel like I want us to stop. And then like you lie back and I just start touching your whole body. And that, I felt like I needed that to like digest the whole experience. But
I also apparently did too, because
yeah.
as you're stroking me and running your nails over my stomach,
Yeah.
you just can't help but start putting it in your mouth again.
No, I'm
Giving little
helping
kisses.
little perineum love there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think I did some cock stretching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now again you're massaging the perineum. Lost the headphone there.
I was squeezing out all the juices.
Mm-hmm.
A little pull.
Now you're grabbing at the base there and really just stretching, and you can feel that go all the way deep in.
Does it feel
And then
nice
if I
at that
time-
stage of sex to get a stretch?
Yeah. Sort of like if you've just gone for a run or something and then you stretch your legs out. Stretching a different leg.
This is a very different episode because I feel like I'm here and I'm here and I'm here and I'm here. So
Yeah, I'm curious to hear what you all have to say about this, especially since this one's going to be public to the masses.
yeah, this version, but then an explicit.
You actually
Are
get
we
to
running
listen.
the track while we're talking, or
No, I think that'll be confusing.
Okay.
We'll just do it how we normally do,
all right,
which
part
is
way
just the
through?
audio. Well, I probably might just drop it in at the end and people can listen
At the
to it
end,
then.
yeah, because they've gone through the whole thing. I'm touching your whole
You're running your
torso,
nails.
your belly, your thighs, you're all the way down
Which
to
I
your
said
feet.
felt like fireworks.
Yeah. And yeah, just love that grounding feeling. And you're holding my legs now. We're just breathing together. And then I think you got a bit of a naughty idea right at the end.
Well, I could feel that you were sort of grounding and maybe coming to an end, and I sort of wanted to have another. We sometimes ask for one more round from each other.
And I'm like, what are you doing? I look confused.
And what am I doing?
You're grabbing me and pulling me all the way up and then onto your face.
As I do what?
Really? You're
Lay on my back?
asking me to sit on your face. And then you're using your hands to like move me.
And you're supporting your body weight.
Yeah.
With your feet and your hands there.
Yeah.
So I get a little tasty taste there. And
you make my hips move.
Yeah, my nose is flicking your clitoris.
I feel like I'm a little bit done at that point, so, and then I move off of you
and I can feel that. And so then I ask.
And then you just touch me.
You actually seemed like quite emotional there.
Yeah, I strangely experienced a little bit of shame. I don't know why. It just like washed through. And so then you just held me.
Well, I know for you the whole face sitting is like a really vulnerable thing, so.
Yep. And that's it. We just kind of.
Well, what am I doing here though? This is really important.
Your hands on my heart in the front and the back. Like on my back and front. And you're breathing with me. And I'm just internally like being gentle with myself and just grounding and allowing like sensation to wash through me. Yep. So that was that. And hopefully this was a fun little jaunt for all of you. That
bit of an experiment.
Yeah. One of the things I thought could be fun, because when you first proposed this, then I'm like, oh, why don't we take like little mini clips and like they're completely different moments and like talk about that. But this was like a longer episode, so.
Well, what was your experience like talking about this like, and how do you feel?
I think I'm just curious how it's gonna land. And while I was watching it, often I can't watch. I have this weird thing where I love being in the experience of sex, but I do not want to watch it. I don't even want to watch myself. Occasionally, if it's a little sexy video I'm by myself, then I'll put that on. If
you're turned on in the moment, but if you're not, then...
But if I'm not, like in this moment, I'm talking and I know there's people listening, and but I didn't feel that same feeling of, oh, like I don't want to see this right now. I was like, oh no, that's like, I love you, and it was beautiful to see our joy and our connection, and so, yeah.
I think for me, the incredible range of both playfulness to then like feelings of sadness to then feelings of joy, different rhythms of fast to slow,
out in the universe,
to pause, to more, to less, just the tip, in the depth, like it's so dynamic. I never feel that sex is the same with you. And frankly, I just can't look forward. I can hardly wait to go ahead and be inside you again.
The next time.
The next time, I'm talking like as we go ahead and turn off this episode. So, see y'all.
Well, so if you are new to this community, we have the Embodied Love University.com. We have a free foundational training. It's kind of like the 5 most important part of the erotic ecosystem that if anyone knows that, they're already going to be blasting through an extraordinary levels of pleasure.
All these different factors here, like how to move your pelvic floor. So that's going to be in the section on anatomy as a system of pleasure. Then there is the whole body mechanics of how you coordinate your breath with your movement and then with each other.
How do you regulate yourself?
We talk about relaxed arousal.
Yeah.
We talk then as well about
mental
embodied
arousal.
Consent, as well as then mental arousal. And the embodied consent is that communication between wanting, more depth, more closeness, more distance, all these different things. And then when we are then using erotic talk, knowing each other's ways to different angles to activate mental arousal and even broaden those horizons is just going to give you that full spectrum. And then the other piece too on the relaxed arousal is so key, because so many people are always trying to drive themselves to like this intense sympathetic thing that the body can't maintain. So like
even today, like when I'm watching that and I'm remembering my experience, because I had so much tension. I had this weird nightmare last night, like tension. So I'm not like that all the time, but anyways, it just seems like when we do episodes, like, it's not like my constant.
You're tapping into the greater conscience and helping teach a lesson.
Anyways. So just, I could feel that starting quickly with that session wasn't okay. My nervous system was too aroused, too in the sympathetic. It was too like on alert. And so I needed us to go into relaxed arousal so that I could then explore a greater range of arousal.
Because if you don't have that, what happens is the body just will either go into numbness and shut down, or maybe you have an orgasm, but then you're like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to have connection. We had a whole episode called The Hollow Orgasm where we talked about, what is it like to have these other sort of more traditional, more... This what typical sex ed will teach you is the way you have an orgasm, go into a refractory period. But then what are like the consequences of that if that's the only way that you have to express with one another, both relationally as well as for yourself?
So,
anyways,
for free, we have these foundational videos. You just need an email address. Join the community for free. You get all of the free podcast episodes and some really cool options to learn. And then there's other options where you can upgrade to other membership upgrades. One just allows you into the explicit lounge. And then the third level is where you get to talk to us live on Zoom a few times a month in community. And so the community aspect is really foundational. I just feel like when these things are normalized and you have a common place, a safe place, a place of exploration where there's no judgment, there's no shame, there's no guilt, you're just adults lucidly looking at a very important topic.
Be it common challenges, common like wins, or like relational hurdles, ways of speaking, attachment patterns.
Love these communities. Like I've had my community, I don't know how long now, but a long, long time. And every single month we do a practice together, which I love. And then every single month we do a Q&A, which I love. And the reason I love it is I cannot fathom what's going on in your mind. And when you bring that to me, in the spot, you challenge me to like, how do I answer this in a way that's the most useful, most empowering to this human being? And I love that challenge. I love that invitation. So.
Well, that's the beauty of having a system, and one that actually can just really go at things that are just multifaceted and give very specific feedback that has such strong impact that then can be put into play immediately within the relationship. And then when you are in that community space, when you ask the question, there's at least always another several people that are having the exact same thing, and then it really touches their lives and they share, and it just creates this really great communal effect. And there's a certain power that happens in community, in group, where then things like just even start to accelerate further. And here we are, normalizing the conversation around sex, intimacy, and relationships. So
absolutely,
come join us in the university. We'll see you there.
See you there. To join us for the complete and explicit version of this podcast, just simply upgrade your membership and you'll get instant access.